Today, we're flying United's Boeing 757-300, the world's longest single-aisle passenger aircraft, to test one of its longest domestic routes, a 5-hour flight from Los Angeles to Hawaii. By the end of this journey, my opinion of this aircraft had completely changed. But is it still worth flying, or has time finally caught up with the Boeing 757-300? Let's find out. Aloha from Los Angeles, California. Today we're going to be flying to Honolulu, Hawaii on United Airlines Boeing 757-300, also known as the Flying Pencil. Now, I've been wanting to fly the 757-300 for quite some time, but today I may actually regret it. So this is one of United's longest domestic routes, and we're going to be flying in economy, and these particular aircrafts have a much older cabin with no seatback entertainment built into the seat. So we're going to see if it's worth this 5-hour flight on the Boeing 757-300. We have about an hour left until boarding, so let's head over to the gate. Los Angeles International Airport serves as one of United Airlines' largest hubs and is a major gateway to Hawaii with multiple flights departing daily for the islands. Waiting at the gate was today's aircraft, United Airlines 23-year-old Boeing 757-300. Better known as the Flying Pencil, it's the longest narrow-body aircraft Boeing has ever built and remains a unique part of United's fleet. This aircraft features 234 seats in a 3-class configuration. 24 in first class, 54 in economy plus, and 156 in economy. For this flight, I'll be in seat 38F, a standard economy window seat for this 5-hour journey to Honolulu. One thing I really like is that every passenger gets a sanitizing wipe during boarding, and I honestly wish more airlines did this. The first few rows are Economy Plus, which offers a little extra legroom on this 5-hour flight. But today we'll be sitting back in Economy. And as I made my way to my seat, one thing that stands out is just how long this airplane is. And it's easy to see why the Boeing 757-300 earned the nickname the Flying Pencil. Just got seated, and this is seat number 38F, and I gotta say, this is gonna be a very interesting flight. So this right here is my leg room on the 757-300, and as you can see, there's not much space here between my knees. It's about 2 fingers. And this is also one of the aircrafts that doesn't have an entertainment system. So as you can see here, all you have is this. Now, just because there's no entertainment system in the seat doesn't mean there's no entertainment system. You can stream using your own device, which is nice, but I still prefer something to be on the seat. But that's just me. And since I'm sitting in 38F, this is the view from my window. And as you can see, the baggage handlers are putting in the luggage into the plane. And since we're going to Hawaii, in each seat you're going to find this blanket here. Since this is a 5-hour flight to Hawaii, it's definitely a nice touch and something that you'll probably end up using during the trip.
And welcome to United Flight 1224 headed to Honolulu. In a water landing, do not use the window exits to evacuate the aircraft. Exit path lights on or near the floor will guide you to an exit.
We began our taxi toward the runway, but then unexpectedly came to a stop on the opposite side of the runway. We ended up sitting there for about 10 minutes, and at that time I wasn't sure what was happening.
10 minutes later.
After about a 10-minute wait, we were finally cleared for departure. The Boeing 757 is well known for its impressive climb performance, and today it certainly didn't disappoint. We accelerated down the runway before climbing rapidly out of Los Angeles, leaving the city behind as our 5-hour journey to Honolulu was officially underway. My first question was whether the seat would be comfortable enough for the next 5 hours. The seat offers about 2 inches of recline, giving you just a little extra room which may come in handy over the next 5 hours. Each seat also comes with an adjustable headrest, which is nice. Power outlets are also located underneath the seat, which can be a little tricky to find at first, especially with the limited space, and it took me a couple tries to connect the power block to the seat outlet. Looking at my row, one thing I noticed right away was just how tight the legroom looked for the passengers sitting in the aisle seat. Even something as simple as crossing my legs took a little bit of effort. I even put it to the test by trying to lower the tray table with one leg crossed, but it wouldn't open all the way. As the flight went on, I found myself constantly shifting around trying to find the most comfortable seating position. One thing that actually helped was folding the blanket behind my lower back for a little extra lumbar support. It wasn't a game changer, but it definitely made the seat feel a bit more comfortable. One thing I was excited to check out was United's in-flight service, especially since Hawaii flights offer a few extras you wouldn't find on most domestic routes. Inside the seatback pocket, you'll find United's onboard menu with a full selection of snacks, meals, and beverages available for purchase. One thing that makes these Hawaii flights a little different is the selection of island-inspired snacks and drinks, available exclusively on routes to and from Hawaii. Whether you decide to purchase something or not, every passenger still receives a complimentary snack and beverage. Here's what I ended up going with. Drink and snack service just started, and I ended up getting a stewed waffle along with a cup of coffee and a Coke. Since United only offers complimentary snacks and drinks on their Hawaii flights, I actually planned ahead and got some chicken fingers from the airport. That way I'm not relying on just snacks to get me through on this 5-hour plus flight. If you're flying this route, I definitely recommend grabbing something to eat before boarding. 5 hours is a long time and the complimentary snack only goes so far. Since there aren't any seatback screens on the Boeing 757-300, all of your entertainment is streamed directly to your own phone or tablet. United offers an extensive library of movies and TV shows with enough variety to keep most passengers entertained throughout the flight. Text messaging is complimentary, while Wi-Fi starts at $8 for Mileage Plus members. I found the connection to be surprisingly reliable throughout the flight over the Pacific Ocean. One thing that surprised me on this flight is just how reliable the Wi-Fi has been. Even flying across the Pacific, I've had a solid connection for most of the flight. Obviously, these older 757s aren't equipped with Starlink, but for checking emails, browsing the internet, scrolling through social media, and even sending messages, it's been working really well. The flight attendants also made a separate pass through the cabin with complimentary water, helping passengers stay hydrated during the 5-hour flight. Before I knew it, 2 hours had already passed, but with 3 more hours still to go, this flight was far from over. One downside of having the window seat is you don't have the freedom to stand up or stretch whenever you want. You have to wait until the aisle is clear or hope you don't disturb the passengers next to you. But at this point, I found myself checking the flight map more often and just waiting for Hawaii to get a little closer.
2 hours later.
So we have officially made it to hour number 4 on this 5-hour flight, and I can definitely feel it. My legs are starting to get a little stiff. 5 hours in economy on an narrow-body flight is definitely a long time, and we still have about an hour left before landing in Honolulu, so at this point I'm definitely ready to get off the plane. The only thing that's getting me through this flight is the Wi-Fi, which seems to make the time go by a bit quicker. While the 757 is a legendary aircraft and I love flying on it, I probably want to go again for a flight that's longer than 2 hours. I'm 5'11" and I have long legs, and I would definitely recommend Economy Plus, which offers way more legroom. With just about an hour remaining, I decided to see what the complimentary blanket was like. Alright, let's go ahead and open up this blanket here and see what it's like. So it's a pretty thin blanket, but honestly, that's about what I was expecting. I don't think it's meant to keep you super warm, but it's definitely nice to have on a 5-hour plus flight, especially if the cabin starts getting a little bit chilly. In the end, I didn't really have much use for the blanket other than using it for a little extra back support. The cabin didn't feel cold and stayed at a comfortable temperature throughout the flight. With the chance to finally get out of my seat, I took the opportunity to stretch my legs and check out the lavatory on board the Boeing 757-300. One interesting feature of this aircraft is that the rear lavatory is located between rows 34 and 35, rather than the very back of the aircraft. The faucet works a little differently than most. As soon as you let go of the hot or cold button, the water automatically stops, so washing your hands can be a bit difficult. One thing I did like was the amount of space. It felt roomier than I expected and gave me a chance to stretch my legs before heading back to my seat. Back on my seat, we were finally down to the last hour of the flight, and with Honolulu getting closer by the minute, the crew made one final pass through the cabin with complimentary drinks before arrival. The flight attendant just came through with the final drink service before we land in Honolulu, and this time I went with a cup of coffee and cream and sugar. Since we'll be arriving soon, I figured I'd have another coffee, especially with the time difference, just to give me a little boost before we land. It's really hot. Just before our descent into Honolulu, we encountered some fairly rough turbulence, and I was definitely glad I finished my coffee beforehand. Before long, the island of Oahu finally came into view. As we approached the island's windward coast, you can even spot Lanikai Beach, often considered one of the most beautiful beaches on this island. The views on the approach into Honolulu certainly didn't disappoint, offering a spectacular look at Oahu's turquoise coastline. Before long, we made one final turn to line up with the runway at Honolulu International Airport, treating us to even more incredible views of Oahu's southern coastline. just arrived, and the worst thing about staying in the back is that you have to wait for everyone to leave the plane before you can go. By the time it was our turn, the cabin had definitely started to warm up quite a bit and felt very humid. Finally off the plane after 5 hours. Let's go and grab the check bag. Aloha, welcome to Hawaii. Just made it to the car rental station and we're looking for Enterprise, and I see it right over there. And let's see what car we get.
15 minutes later.
Now, if you're planning on renting a car here in Honolulu, once you check in at the front desk, and once you leave the store, you're gonna make a right and go all the way down, and then from there, you're gonna find escalators and elevators that will point you to the correct rental car station. And we are here. Let's see what car we're gonna get. Doesn't seem like there's many here. So I just found my car, and it's gonna be this Hyundai Palisade, which is perfect for 5 people that I'm traveling with. Well, after 5 hours across the Pacific, we finally made it here at Honolulu, Hawaii. And this right here is my view from my hotel. And down below is the ocean. And over there is Diamond Head. If you enjoyed this review of United Airlines Boeing 757-300, I'd really appreciate it if you guys give it a like and a subscribe. And until next time, see you in the next video.